Hello there, I am Richie Stormtrooper. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another tutorial for the building of a set of Stormtrooper armour. In this video we are not looking at building any particular part, we're looking at a very general subject of using plastic weld. This is my chosen method of gluing, or rather welding, the parts together. I think this is a good choice for many reasons. It is authentic. I believe there is evidence of use of a solvent-based glue on the original suit, so this is semi-authentic method for gluing the parts, so it looks right and it also forms a very solid bond. For people just starting out in the hobby, or people who are not used to using plastic weld, it may seem a little bit daunting, the idea of melting or welding parts together. So we're going to show you step by step how you can do it without damaging your armour. Before we do get started, if you find this video interesting or useful, please do like and subscribe. I will be back with regular videos. I have a whole set of tutorials for building a Stormtrooper. We will also be looking at other costumes at some point, so I would love to have you on board. Please do like and subscribe. So let's have a look first at what we're going to be needing for this procedure. Well, firstly, of course, we need some parts that we are going to be sticking together, welding together. In this case, I have a thigh assembly from my RS Prop Masters kit and the cover strips already cut to size. If you want to see a video all about cover strips, click on this link for some more specific information about sizing, etc. We're also going to be needing, of course, some plastic weld. This, of course, is a simple pure liquid solvent, a strong solvent, methylene chloride, and contains dichloromethane. We're also going to need some super glue. Super glue gel, I find, works better. We are going to use a small paintbrush for applying our plastic weld. We're going to need some clamps like this, plastic clamps, just from the hardware store, and some strong rare earth magnets or neodyme magnets. These are very strong magnets. I get these off eBay. These are 20 millimeters in diameter, and I think something like must be 3 or 4 millimeters in thickness. You may find when you come to using these magnets for assembling arm parts that a smaller diameter is useful. I think you can get them in 15 millimeter diameter, but I use these for pretty much everything. I've obviously, as you can see, have quite a lot. I've been using them for several years. These are going to be very important for clamping our parts together. I'm also going to be using some masking tape. I'm going to use this just to protect certain parts of the armour. Plastic weld. The directions here, I'll read them quickly. Plastic weld dissolves a thin film on each surface to be joined, then evaporates very quickly, forming a welded joint, one as strong as the surrounding plastic. For best results, hold the pieces to be joined, use a small brush to apply plastic weld. Capillary action will spread it the length and breadth of the joint, forming a continuous solid weld. If the brush stiffens when dry, dip in plastic weld to soften. Do not use on styrofoam. It says here this is suitable for these plastics and combinations thereof: styrene, ABS, acrylic and perspex. We of course are using an ABS kit, so it sounds pretty daunting. Yes, melting your parts that you've just spent a lot of money on does sound kind of daunting. Why not use a glue? It's quick and easy. You don't need to apply a lot of plastic weld, and the parts are ready in a matter of minutes. The key to this is going to be clamping our parts correctly in place and making use of the clamps and the magnets, and as a little aid, our super glue. These parts are already trimmed. If you want to see more specific information about trimming certain parts, I have a separate video for pretty much every part of the kit. Check out the tutorials in this tutorial list, in this playlist, and look for the part that you are assembling. And I find most of the time the best way to start is to glue this cover strip to one side with a little bit of super glue, lining up half of our cover strip to cover half of that seam. This is not going to be our final bond, so you just need a couple of dabs of glue in a few key places. Clamp that at one end, clamp that at the other end, just check. See on there I have half of the cover strip over one side of the raised edge of my front part, and then the other is there ready to receive the other side. What I now like to do is weld this permanently to one side, and then that's one side taken care of. We don't need to try and weld two sides all at once. And what I like to do before I start using the plastic weld is to take a length of masking tape long enough to cover my entire cover strip, and then place that over the outside of the cover strip. This is going to protect our cover strip because this is obviously a very thin, low viscosity liquid. It seeps into our join, into our crack, but sometimes it can seep out to the outside, and what we want to avoid is unsightly dents and marks. This will melt the plastic on the outside, and with the pressure we're applying with our clamps and magnets, it can leave behind some pressure marks, some dents. And I'm going to go straight in and clamp this together with my magnets, magnet on the inside, magnet on the outside of my cover strip, and that all along, just to hold that under pressure. So there you see I have my cover strip clamped all along the length at various positions. In some places I double up on the magnets for extra strength, extra firm hold. Now it's ready to glue one side with my plastic weld. Now all I need to do is wet my brush and run the brush on the inside here and allow gravity, hold it that way up so gravity takes that into that crack between the two opposing parts of plastic. Really don't need a lot. That will seep in there. It will spread, capillary action as it says on the bottle, and we let our magnets hold those parts together. Sometimes find it useful to apply a bit of plastic weld and then shift the magnet into position where we've just applied it, and then doing so we free up another part of the seam, and then we can go in there just to make sure there is plastic weld all along the entire length of our parts. You can appreciate there, I think, already that that's melting pretty quickly. You will see, obviously, you see some pressure points, some pressure marks, some dents, traces of where the magnets have been on the inside. That's perfectly fine. And now I'm ready for the second side of the part of this clamshell construction. I can slide my magnets aside, don't really necessarily have to take them off, slide them aside like so. That's pretty firm, and I can slide my other side of the part in there, match that up at the top first at one of the ends, and when I have all my magnets in there I want to push it together, make sure that my seam on the inside is tight, make sure that lines up flush. A little bit of scrap here, make sure it looks okay on the outside, looks fine, lines up. Bottom, I have a little bit of gap here, and obviously this is a misalignment on the right thigh. That doesn't matter at all, that's perfectly authentic, and it's going to be covered up with our ammo belts later. Maybe hold the parts this way so that gravity takes our liquid down to the other side, but we're also welding in here as well. Where it touches will also probably be where it aligns best, where it touches the two sides of the parts that align. Will be making a bond there too, but mainly the bond will probably be between the cover strip and the part itself inside. So same procedure, couple of drops on my brush, run it down along the seam, allow it to seep in and down through and to join our cover strip to our part. So having been satisfied that I've got plastic weld applied, spread all around the seam where I want it, and having left that for 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe, I can now take off my magnets, put them aside, and I can already appreciate that's a good firm bond. And then all I need to do is peel off my little strip of protective masking tape. There's also evidence, I think, that adhesive, solvent-based adhesive was used to seal the cover strips on the outside. You can even, if you're very steady-handed, I do sometimes, run a thin few drops into that seam, but otherwise that's perfectly fine. And all we have to do is repeat the process on the rear seam, on all our seams of all our parts that we're going to weld together with plastic weld, and we'll soon have parts fully constructed like these, and we're on our way to building a Stormtrooper. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Check out the full playlist of tutorials if you're already building Stormtrooper armor or if you're planning to do so. I'll be back soon with another video and another tutorial. My rhythm at the moment is one video every Tuesday and one every Friday, so hope to see you there. Until then, take care.